Hello everyone, my name is Andrew and I am an ALT here in Sendai, Japan. Let me show you what it's like to be an ALT. So first off, let's start with what we wear at work. You always have to have your name tag with you, which is extremely important while you're working, just so that people know that you are part of the school system. During the summertime, I say it's okay to wear sportswear, especially because it gets very hot outside and allows you a chance to play with the kids. For ALT meetings or any special events such as the entrance ceremony or the graduation ceremony, I think it's best to have suits and ties. And for ALT meetings, it's okay to probably wear just dress shirt and dress pants. But for these special events, make sure you dress up a little bit. So the first thing that I do every morning when I come to work is check the schedule for the school. Every school has a different timetable, so a different time in which a class starts and a different time in which a class ends. I note all that down on a sticky note. Everyone has their own way of keeping organized, but this is what works best for me. So on the very left, I have the periods, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth period. The second number is the time of the class, and what's in the middle is the what year and what class I'll be teaching. For example, first period is Sannen Ichikumi, or 3-1. And on the very right is the name of the teacher I'll be teaching with. So some schools may provide you with a schedule, and it could look like this. They'll leave it on your desk, and you'll see it first thing in the morning to know what classes that you'll have throughout the day. They all have slightly different formats, but they all convey the same information. For example, for this one, in the first period I had a first grade class, second period a fifth grade class, then another fifth grade class, then another first grade class. Then I had lunch with the second years, and then in the fifth period I had another fifth grade class. So for me as an ALT, I think having the schedule is one of the most valuable resources to have. Sometimes your children will come into class late because of committees or other commitments, and it's best to have this schedule so that you know that sometimes you'll need to cut certain parts of the activities that you have planned. And so you can pace the rest of the class accordingly based on how much time you have left. Another thing that you may see on your desk first thing in the morning is this, which is a lesson plan. This is in a third grade lesson plan that we had for self-introductions, and as you can see, most of the lesson plan is in Japanese. Here's an example of a sixth grade lesson plan from a different school. And the main activity was telling other people what time you get up, go to bed, and eat dinner. One of the most important things to have in elementary schools are these, which are the name tags. It's so important that you know the kids' names. It makes the lesson go so much smoother, and it helps develop a personal relationship with the kids. So this is a collection of the textbooks that we use in elementary school education here in Japan to teach English. The Hi Friends 1 and the Hi Friends 2 were the previous textbooks for grade 5 and 6. Currently, they're used as supplementary material. The Let's Try 1 and Let's Try 2 are the current grade 3 and 4 textbooks and will be continued to be in use after next year. The We Can 1 and We Can 2 are the current textbooks to grade 5 and 6. Right now, as English is an activity, these textbooks for grade 5 and 6 are still used. But starting next year, the We Can series will be changed as English will become a regular curriculum course. So currently, English in Japan is an activity, and these textbooks, the We Can series, were made as activity books. So in 2020, when English becomes a real course that's marked, same as math or science or social studies, a class in which you'll have a real score, we will no longer use these textbooks, and instead we'll get new textbooks. So let me show you guys real quickly what's inside these textbooks. So I have with me the Let's Try 2 book. This is for grade 4 students. Inside, here's the table of contents. Very colorful. All of these textbooks have really colorful illustrations. As you can see, the textbook has Japanese instructions for the children, with little bits of English here and there. And compare that to the teacher's textbook. The teacher's textbook has the answers, and also it has all the instructions of how to teach the lesson in Japanese. So these are some of the things I always make sure that I have with me when I go to the classroom. The schedule, the day's lesson plan, the picture cards that we'll use for the lesson, the teacher's copy of the textbook, magnets to put the picture cards on the blackboard, some kind of writing utensil, such as a pen or a pencil, and also chalk, just so you have something to write on the board with. So one of the ways to being a successful ALT is to have all the materials that you'll need before you go to the classroom. And not all schools have English rooms like this one. Some schools you'll teach in the classrooms themselves, in the multi-purpose room, or sometimes even in the gym. So make sure you check first thing in the morning to see which class you'll be teaching. Here's an example of some of the picture cards that I've made for elementary school. So in 4th grade, we teach the children their favorite place. And so when I made the picture cards, I took photos of places within the school that correspond to the vocabulary. And also note that these picture cards are made by just printing a piece of paper off and putting them into a clear file. Sometimes when you don't have time to laminate, it's an easier way to make picture cards. So let's briefly go over what a full lesson plan can look like from start to finish. This will be for a 4th grade class using vocabulary that they've previously learned or recently learned in this lesson. So let's start with greetings. It would go something like this. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Andrew Sensei. And then I would ask, how are you? And then they would give their response. And perhaps they can also ask you as well, how are you, Andrew Sensei? And I'll say something like, oh, I'm good, using gestures. From there, we'll transition into the warm-up. So for the warm-up, we'll have a simple greeting that we'll have demonstrated by myself and the other teacher. We'll have a conversation that goes back and forth like this. Hello, hello, how are you? They would say something, I'm good. And they would ask me, how are you? And I would go, I'm tired. What color do you like? I like red. And they would ask me, what color do you like? I like green. See you, see you. So now that we've demonstrated the warm-up, we would have the kids maybe work in pairs first to start. They would do that same interaction, that same greeting. And then once that's done, we'll get them to stand up and walk around and greet each other. Maybe after 3-4 minutes, we'll have them sit down and move on to the next activity. Now that we've finished the warm-up, let's move on to the main lesson that we're trying to get to. Let's start off with a teacher's talk. I find them to be really good because it can introduce vocabulary and sentence structure that we're trying to teach the kids. And it can look something like this. So it'll be with me and another teacher demonstrating a teacher's talk. It can go like this. Hello, hello. And then I would say, my favorite place is the gym. I like to play basketball. And then the other teacher would say their favorite place as well. And then we would have the kids perhaps talk in small groups and see what part of the sentences they understood, what vocabulary they picked up on. So this lesson will be based on this part of the textbook. It's called This Is My Favorite Place. And it's part of the Let's Try To. But we won't actually be using the textbook for the day. Next, I would actually have the homeroom teacher write or just verbally say today's goal, which would be something along the lines of Okiri na basho o tsudaeao, or basically introduce your favorite place to others. Next, we would review vocabulary. It can go something like this. Up, up, down, down, turn left, turn left. It will be left for the kids, not for you. Turn right, turn right. Go straight, go straight. Stop, stop. Next we would play some kind of movement game in which one person at the front, first the teacher and then later a student, will give directions to the rest of the students. For example, go straight would be going straight, but just staying in one spot. Stop, in which you stop movement. Turn left by 90 degrees. Turn right by 90 degrees. down, in which you would squat down, and up, in which you stand back up again. And putting it all together, you would have something like this, in which the person at the front would say, go straight, turn left, turn left, turn right, down, up, turn right. So in which case the kids can kind of follow along with the movements. Eventually, it would be nice to have a student at the front being able to give directions as well, but first I would start off with a teacher giving the direction. Now that we've finished the movement game and we've reviewed all the vocabulary for directions, we would then move on to the vocabulary for places in the school. For example, we would start with this one. Playground, 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 playground. So we would have kids repeat it multiple times just so they can really hear the pronunciation. As you guys can already tell, there's a lot of vocabulary that the fourth graders need to know. So I've tried to categorize vocab whenever possible. As you can see, these all have the word office in them, these all have the word room in them, and these don't have anything in common. By doing this, it makes it a lot easier for the kids to remember vocabulary, and it also helps if there's a similar Japanese word to the English word, so they can make connections really fast. I mean, lots of kids know the word music and science, and so if you can connect that to, this is the music room, or this is the science room. And another big one is Minecraft. Kids know Minecraft, right? And so you can say this is arts and crafts room, like the craft meaning to build, like the building in Minecraft. Now that we've finished vocabulary for the directions and also the different places in the school, I would probably work on the sentence that we're trying to do for this unit, which is, this is my favorite place. To make it easier, I'd also break it down as well. So go, this is, and have them repeat this is, and then say, my favorite place, my favorite place. And then put it all into one sentence. This is my favorite place. This is my favorite place. As you can see, there's lots of parts that the kids need to know. So this would likely be the last lesson in a unit. So the main activity for this whole unit will be this. So this is the main activity for this unit. I made a map of the school, including some of the places that come up in our vocabulary. The kids would decide their favorite place and then work in pairs to guide each other to their favorite place in the school. So once we finish with the main activity, all that's left for is the kids to write their reflection. Some schools have reflection booklets where kids can write down what they thought about the lesson, what they learned, how they can use the English, and then we'd finish off with the ending greeting, the farewell greeting, which can go something like this. Goodbye everyone, goodbye Andrew Sensei, see you, and that will be the end of the lesson. As always guys, I hope you found this video to be useful, especially if you're coming here to Japan as an elementary school ALT. Goodbye everyone, thank you for watching and see you next time. I also forgot to mention that this is my last day here at Ayashi Elementary School. This is my first elementary school here in Japan, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's made this journey such an awesome experience. So thank you.